I'm here with a brand new skate with some great technology that I know nothing about. So today we're gonna bring in Elliot, our goalie expert here, who's gonna help me understand what is new with the KONEKT HF3 skate, okay? First and foremost, we're just gonna hit you as quick as we can here. My watch is actually upside down, but we're gonna see if you can go 60 seconds and tell us everything we need to know about this skate, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the latest addition to our KONEKT line of skates. This is the new HF3. It's replacing our HF2, which is that slightly more accessible price point, but still giving you that hinge flex technology that our KONEKT line is known for. So the upgrades here from the HF2 is going to be swapped out that lower buckle for a Velcro strap that provides a little bit more of a seamless feel and more adjustability.
I could use Velcro on my skates, I like that.
Our new liner too, we swapped it out for an overlap liner that creates a more seamless feel, and that liner also now has a toe loop here. So when you put your toe ties on top of your skate, they're not going to slide off the front.
30 seconds.
A little bit more of a secure feel. That's all I
Whoa.
need. That's my time.
There we go. Half the time. Well done, Elliot. That was very nice. Okay. So when you're making these skates, obviously, there's a lot of decision making that goes into it. But is there any like kind of real life intel where I know, like you said, like even just so like being able to strap your pads through here is a pretty big difference. But is there any like kind of real intel that helped you address a need with the skate or something that guided any of the decision making with this?
Yeah, I think one of them was, like I was saying, with this new liner, it's kind of a popular, similar to what is used in some ski boots. But when we came out with our first iteration, we wanted that more of a tongue just so it would be a little bit of a more traditional skate feel, since we were obviously changing basically everything else about it. And for most goalies that worked great, but for some goalies there was a little bit of pinching and binding, kind of where that tongue would overlap with the sides of this. And so goalies that did have trouble with that have really preferred this new overlap liner. It creates a much more seamless feel that when it tightens or loosens, depending on how big of an ankle you have, it's still very comfortable for all the goalies that have tried it.
You were just talking about the lower strap here, and like, so it was a buckle before?
Yeah, so it was a buckle just like we had up here, but we found that a lot of our elite level goaltenders that are using KONEKT, like Andrei Vasilevsky even, they just took off their bottom buckle because they found they didn't need it and they didn't want the excess bulk. So we were able to shave a little bit of weight and create a more seamless feel down here, but still get the closure that most goalies need by just swapping that buckle out for a Velcro. And most people that have tried it have actually preferred this.
You open it like this?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then like this. Velcro undone. I want to see this whole thing. I want to see this liner. What size is this? Should I try to put it on?
It's a 9.
Should this come out, or is that?
Just like that.
Wow. There you go.
So when you bake it, you actually take it out because the shell itself bakes for 7 minutes, and then you put the liner in the shell and bake it for 4 more minutes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. And then it seems to go back in super easily. So. Bam.
Yeah. So some goalies love the liner too because they'll have a couple in their bag and just swap out at intermission, so they can get a nice fresh dry liner and then just pop the skate right back on.
I like that. I feel like guys obviously have different like things that they're obsessed with, whether it be like dry gloves or wet. Like I've heard of some goalies that like drench their gear before a game.
Yeah, Lundqvist used to always do that. If he had too long between games and his gear would dry out, he'd have a little spray bottle and he would spray it because the gloves especially, when they dry out, they get a little stiff.
Yeah.
So.
Probably not the skates though as much. Nobody likes a soaker.
No one likes a wet skate. Not that I know of, at least.
But okay, that's obviously kind of like personal preference there. But there is actually different specific fits within these skates too. So what, like, if somebody's going to the store, they want to try one on, what are the different kind of fit options that they could go through? Yeah.
So our KONEKT line works a little bit different than the rest of our skates. Obviously, the rest of our skates have the fit 1, 2, 3 option.
Yeah.
They come in half sizes. These actually only come in whole sizes and only come in 1 width. But that's because, like I said, you bake this skate for 11 minutes total. So what happens is this shell actually expands basically a full size when it's in the oven.
Whew.
And then when it's on your foot and cools back down, it will contract back down on your foot. It's actually a crazy feeling because when you put it on fresh out of the oven, it feels way too big.
Yeah.
And then over the course of like 10 minutes, you can just feel it slowly contracting down on your foot.
That's really cool.
But so any authorized BAUER retailer will have fitting shims and toe sleeves too, so you can build in space kind of around your foot as you're baking it. So when it cools down, if you have a certain pressure point on the side of your foot, you can make sure to build that up with some foam shims. So when it cools, it'll have that negative space that you need. But yeah, so it's a little bit of a different fit system, the way of thinking about it. I know people can feel weird if they're like 9.5 and we try to sell them a 9 skate.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you go through the fit process, you'll understand it's just such a heat moldable material that it is able to kind of give us a custom fit without the custom wait time.
For athletes in general, what's been the feedback on the skate so far?
Most that have tried it have loved it. I think, like you said, we hear a lot that it looks like a ski boot, and some goalies are a little bit hesitant to try it because of that. But it's really cool to hear goalies that do give it a shot and say they're never going to go back. It's like, obviously there's the little things that are convenient, like goalies have always traditionally taken the longest to get dressed, and now I hear all the time, like, I'm the first one out of the locker room because all I have to do is 2 buckles on my skates. I don't need to tie them anymore. But even just the performance aspect, like I said, like a lot of goalies have found it to be more comfortable and feel like they can skate better on the ice with it.
Do you have a favorite part of this skate? You may have already said it, but is there just something that really stands out to you as like?
It sounds so small, but my favorite part, and honestly what most of the goalies I've showed this to love, is the little loop right here. It's really small. It's kind of a feature we added on towards the end, but a lot of goalies hate when their toe ties just slide off the front. So this really holds them in place. And bonus feature, if you use skate lace instead of our Velcro toe ties, you can also put all the extra skate lace that's hanging over tucked into your Velcro strap. It keeps it out of the way. Should I time you how fast you can unbuckle it and rebuckle it?
You've got to watch too. Okay.
Okay, tell me when.
Now, I'd put it on. Does it count that I'm super fumbly? There we go. Even with me fumbling around.
I got 15 seconds.
So quick. I would love that. I mean, I used to work in a hockey store, and I tied like probably 50 skates a day, and I would get lots of blisters. So this would be a dream for that. Yeah. So many of the people working in hockey stores, thank you for this. I feel like I know everything there is to know about the KONEKT HF3. Thank you so much, Elliot. You were great. And if you want to learn anything else about any of our goalie stuff, Elliot's done some other videos as well with us on our YouTube page. But there's also a ton of player stuff out there too, and just pretty much any equipment there is, plus fun stuff. So just subscribe right now.